Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for this upcoming full moon that's occurring on June 14th, 2022. And so what I want to do, I'm going to do things a little bit differently for these moon readings ongoing. I'm going to take a look at the numerology and the energy forecast for the collective, which I highly recommend you listen to because it does, we're all a part of the collective. So we are privy to these energies, right? We may feel them. Have a listen to that. And then I'm going to break the energies down into each life path forecast so that you can kind of see based on your life path number, how this illumination may affect you, how you may feel the energies, that sort of thing. Okay, so this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like to take a look at your own personal energies and numerology, please book some time with me. The link for it to be able to do that is in the description box below. Okay, so before I get into the numerology, I went ahead and pulled an animal spirit card for this illumination. And very much aligned with the numerology, we received chameleon spirit. And so chameleon spirit's message is all about adaptation, camouflage. When you think about the chameleon, it moves sort of slowly, and its little eyes are kind of moving all around, just taking everything in, seeing what's going on around it so that it knows how to adapt, so that it knows how it needs to integrate into the situation, how it's meant to experience its environment. And so I think it's really important to mention that we do have a lot of 5 energy coming through in this at this full moon. And so change, adaptation, transformation, all of that is going to be very potent. And so I think that as we move through this illumination, through this energy, which can be at about the span of a couple of weeks, this isn't an eclipse energy, so probably a couple of weeks we'll feel it. Just try to embody chameleon energy, right? Especially if it's a change or a transformation that feels uncomfortable or that is unexpected. Just play like chameleon, take everything in, look around, and then adapt as needed, right? There's going to be probably a lot of need for surrender, a lot of need to go with the flow, that sort of thing. A lot of things that we need to release control over with this illumination. And so instead of fighting that, I don't know, anytime I've ever seen a chameleon, they just seem so relaxed and chill. Like they're just taking it all in, going with the flow, doing their thing and adapting, right? And doing what they need to do. Okay, so looking at the numerology for the collective. So this full moon illumination emphasizes the vibrations of the 5 and the 8. So it's very possible that collectively we could see major shifts or transformations when it comes to power and the balancing of power, shifts in resources and global financial infrastructures. So we may be asked now to be much more adaptable in how we spend money, how we make money, and where we place value when it comes to our purchasing power. So again, the 5 is all about change, freedom, freedom of expression. This is a big, fast-moving energy. So it doesn't want to be tied down. It doesn't want to be restricted. It's go big or go home kind of energy. And that coupled with the 8, which is a very material plane energy. It's very tangible. It's very about, again, power, money, business, resources, power dynamics, philanthropy, all these things, as well as intuition and a spiritual connection as well. But really, I think this illumination is really going to bring into the forefront a lot around change, adaptability when it comes to finances, resources, especially on a global stage. So you may see, again, power play, right? Things going back and forth around power and redistribution of power, where there's injustices, bringing justice to that situation. Could see that all kind of be playing out now. Supply and demand is a real force. And when we buy something, needed or not needed, we're saying we want more of this, whatever it is. So we may need to get creative when it comes to finances and our purchasing power to perhaps send a different message if we want to see some sort of a shift, right? So it doesn't make sense to get angry or frustrated at large corporations if we are constantly showing consistent support for them and how they conduct business, right? So by purchasing their products, we're saying we like what you're doing and we want more of this. So we always have a choice, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an easy choice, but we always have a choice. And many times there are smaller businesses who offer similar products and whose values may be in greater alignment with our own. And so it may be a little bit more pricey. It might take a little bit longer to receive. It might not have that instant gratification. But there are options out there, right? And so we just need to take that power back and decide how we want to use that voice, right? Like how we want to use our buying power, and think about the message that we're sending when we make that purchase. A lot could come up now around, again, power struggles, reclaiming power, and not sinking into sort of victimization, meekness, or submissiveness out of fear. 8 and 5 energy together ignite the desire for expansiveness and sort of ultimate freedom. So anything that's trying to impose overly rigid or oppressive restrictions now will likely be faced with some level of revolt, pushback, uproar, that sort of thing. Personally, you may find at this time that certain routines or mundane ways of doing things begin to feel really sort of claustrophobic. So it would be very easy under this energy to sort of make big sweeping changes within your life. And I would say just, try to keep your head about you as you move through this energy, because when it calms down and you're only left, you're kind of left with nothing familiar at that point because you made these big sweeping changes, you may be wishing that you would have left something standing, right? So again, chameleon spirit can come in at this time and just kind of, again, just take a look around, slow your roll a little bit, and make sure that the things that you are releasing or getting rid of or breaking free from are things that are ready to be released and broken free from, right? Like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to quit my job and because I hate it here. And so you just quit your job and you've got nowhere else to go and not the best financial decision or whatever the case may be, right? So it's very easy under this 5 energy to really get swept up in it and just make very impulsive decisions that when the energy sort of fades in a couple of weeks, you may be thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? I mean, the good news is that it's probably only going to be pretty potent for a week to 2 weeks. So any big major changes that you make are probably going to be things that you can kind of backtrack on if you feel you need to. But I would say just really take everything, just do an overview, make sure that what you're diving into or making changes for is what you want to be doing, right? And what feels right for you for a long-term potential commitment. So it could also be very easy to overspend in this period or overindulge. So allow your senses to be delighted without being gorged. And so trust me, you'll thank me later. You can absolutely 100% have your cake and eat it too. Just do so in moderation and you'll avoid getting a tummy ache. See what I'm saying? So be as flexible and adaptable as possible during this period. With 5 energy, change can be around every corner, and it may look different than what you had anticipated, especially when it comes to this 8 energy of business, wealth, resources, and power. So go with the flow while also paying attention to what the situation is trying to highlight for you so that you can make any necessary changes or adjustments that feel good for you. With the coupling of the 5 and the 8 energy for this illumination, think change, transformation, expansion, or restrictions. Remember, you've got the higher and the lower octaves of these energies. Moderation, enjoyment. Don't be so restrictive that you don't allow yourself to enjoy this energy. 5 energy is a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. It can be very social, very big and expansive and joyful. And so allow yourself the enjoyment, right? We don't always have to be so serious and sacred about things, right? So overindulgence, impulsivity are also possible. So again, moderation, moderation, moderation. Freedom could come into the forefront when it comes to money, power, resources, business, equity, the more tangible things in the physical plane. So you can make this energy work for you. It's all about perspective and driving your actions in the direction that you want to take them, right? Working with the energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path numbers. Okay, life path number 1. So this is beautiful energy for backing a cause that holds meaning for you. So if there's something that you want to put your resources, your power behind, your voice behind, this is a great energy to do that. Social justice could come into the forefront for you, and you may feel compelled or passionate about something. This is a beautiful time to, again, use your influence, use your resources to help others in some way, in a way that's bigger than you. Again, charity can come into play in a big way at this time as well. Empowerment of others. So not doing things for others or setting out to save others, but this is a time to help others to understand how to do it for themselves and to assist them in the process of achieving that so that they can continue that process ongoing, right? So it's a very empowering energy that you all are moving through. And this is also empowering for self as well, right? And so, but there's something here around keeping the integrity of doing whatever you're doing to have some kind of larger impact to with taking others into account, right? Like a lot of times one energy is very sort of self-focused. It's just part of that energy, right? It's the visionary energy and the trailblazer and all of that. But this illumination is really asking you to really sink into your community through a community involvement or community action in some way, seeing the bigger picture and then taking personal responsibility for where you can actually have a greater impact. So again, going back to, do you have the resources to be able to fund something for someone else or for others, right? Can you create something that will bring a greater solution to a bigger problem at this time? So you may see a lot of big ideas coming in for you at this time. You may see funding come in or get ideas for ways to fund these sort of outside the box kind of larger than life creations type thing, right? That are serving others. This is really going to be an energy to take the focus off from self and to really take a look at how can I help others? How can I help to empower others? Where can I bring justice to injustice? Where can I use my voice, my influence, my resources to be able to really assist in this process? So very humanitarian kind of energy that you all are going to be moving through. And it could be that maybe you are a business owner, and so you volunteer your expertise to help other businesses or organizations, non-profits, whatever. Maybe you help them to learn how to get funding, how to write grants, whatever the case may be. But this is really going to be a time where you can use your time and your energy and potentially your resources to really have a greater impact in a really beautiful way. So for some of you, that may just mean doing some pro bono work, giving away a free service or something like that, again, to help to uplift others and offer resources for others to help empower them. So really beautiful energy for this illumination for you all. Again, it's what we do with it, but this is really going to ask you to take the focus off from self at this time and see how can I have a bigger impact on the greater community at this time. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it's a beautiful full moon for you all. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you all again soon, ones. Bye for now.